Howdy y'all, this is Cindy with Brett and Cindy's Tea and Living. Kind of sitting in the garden amongst our corn patch. Been here most of the day with the cucumbers and the corn and the weeds. Been pulling weeds most of the day. And as I was working through the corn patch, the Lord gave me a lesson again. I seem to be getting a lot of lessons while working in the garden. And today, He reminded me as I was pulling weeds of the story in the Bible of the wheat and the tares. Man sowed wheat in his fields, and as he slept, his enemies come along and sowed tares among his wheat. Now, the people who, well, maybe y'all can hear me, the wind's starting to blow. The people who did his garden, or did his fields, said, "Didn't you have good seed?" And he's like, "Yeah, enemy must have done this." He said, "Well, do you want us to pull the tares up?" And he goes, "No, don't pull it up, because in pulling it up, you'll pull up the plant as well, the wheat as well. We'll wait till harvest time, then we'll sort through it." And that story played through my head today as I was pulling weeds in the corn patch, in the corn section of our garden. And the Lord was like, "Got a lesson?" Because I was sitting here thinking, Lord, I don't know how many different times I have read that story. I don't even know how many different times I've taught that story. But for some reason, I never quite saw it the way I saw it today. As I said, Lord, that must have been some kind of powerful enemy there. Because these weeds that I'm pulling, basically a lot of it's grass, because that's what it was this winter. It's coming up where it has always come up. It's not like somebody came in here and sowed grass seed after we got done planting our garden. This is just nature. And I'm sitting here pulling all these weeds and thinking, Lord, how bad did that enemy have to hate that landowner to sow the tares in his wheat and try to destroy his crop? Man, they must have hated him pretty bad. And that's when the good Lord gave me a lesson. Actually, I felt kind of one of those good old-fashioned dust your britches off kind of lessons. Because, see, the wheat and the tare story was a parable by Jesus about the time when judgment come and the Lord will separate those who believe in Him from those who don't. And I thought about that as I was weeding, and I was like, Lord, there are people that don't know who you are. And He said, yeah. But I'm like, the enemy tricks them and makes them believe that they don't have to have you. And then He hit me with another area I had never thought about. How the enemy has convinced people who did believe in God, who profess Him, and who say that, yes, the Lord is on my side. But yet, they don't live a life or a lifestyle that says they believe in God. They talk about it, but they don't live it. Like I said, it was a eye-opening wake-up call to me today, because it was reminding me that it's easy to say I love the Lord, and it's easy to talk about the Lord, but does my life resemble the Lord? Because there is an enemy out there trying to deceive us into believing that we don't need the Lord, that we can do things our own way, and our way is the right way. And that's just fact, not true. God's way is the right way, and it's in Him we have hope. I kept thinking about that thought I had, and the question I asked God, just how bad did that enemy have to hate that man to sow those tares amongst his wheat, to try to ruin his crop. How much hate does people have to try to ruin someone else's life? How much hate does a person have to turn their back on hope and love and peace? Because God is love, hope, and peace. That enemy must really hated that guy. And the devil really hates us. That's why he tries to convince us that we don't need Jesus. But we do. And every weed I pulled after that, I found myself saying, thank you, God, for second chances. Thank you for an opportunity to love and to be loved. And in this time right now, where it seems hate seems to be running the streets, it's time that we who say we love the Lord show our love to others. Because God says, how can you say you love me and hate your brother? Just a thought, a lesson that I got from the garden today. May God bless you and have a great day.